Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. I am Ref Jayhawk. I am not joined by my son Logan this time around. He is over playing with some friends for the day. My goal right now is to play this particular week's worth of show, play another week's worth of shows this afternoon, and either later today or possibly tomorrow do our next big Madison Square Garden show, which will be taking place on June 16th, 1984. But look at June 9th of 1984. Look at WWF Championship Wrestling. And I think we're ready to have some fun here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup. We've got a shorter lineup today, and there's a reason for that we will get into. We've got Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Tony Gurria one-on-one. We've got Jackie the Body Ventura and SD Jones one-on-one. The Iron Sheik and Tony Atlas one-on-one. Cowboy Bob Orton and Superfly Jimmy Snuka in the main event. All four matches are one fall with a 10-minute time limit. We got Piper's Pit, once again with Captain Lou Albano, and we'll be showing some additional stuff a little bit later on as well. So let's go ahead and kick it off with our opening contest, one fall, 10-minute time limit. You were not supposed to see the There's Arrival action showing up on that, but here we go.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 252 pounds, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff on his way to the ring here.
You're going nowhere. It'll be over soon, don't worry.
And he is getting ready for action here today. I love the telling me your phone is you streamed for 7 hours in the last 7 days. Boy, streaming for something like 4 hours on Saturday alone. So we definitely appreciate it, though, wherever you are watching. If you're watching live on Twitch, I think somebody just popped into the chat room. Thank you very much for that. Please continue to enjoy the show. If you're watching on YouTube, greatly appreciate it. We've had a number of new subscribers over the last few days. We started this series. Well, let's go to microphone introduction before we continue that.
And his opponent from New York, weighing in at 240 pounds, Tony Gary A.
Tony Gurria making his way to the ring here. Take on Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff again. One fall, 10-minute time limit. That are all non-title single matches on the Championship Wrestling televised broadcast. Okay, we've had several new subscribers on the YouTube channel as of late, and a couple of you have got some very nice comments as well. So I'm glad you guys are having fun. We're having fun with it here too. WWF Championship Wrestling, June 9th, 1984. Tony Gurria is getting ready to run into the ring here. Here we go. The five-time former WWF Tag Team Champion with 4 different partners. We went over that at some of the other streams yesterday. Always looking for a tag team partner. He teamed some with B. Brian Blair at the late. I had a pretty good team with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert at one point before Gilbert left for other pastures. I won't say greener pastures next year, but other pastures. And there at the bell, we are underway. And there's Tony Gurria with a series of right hand, picking Orndorff up. Backbreaker, nicely executed. And there's a roundhouse kick. And going into the tail hold there. Then there's a knee bar. With a little bit of knee lock. Very nicely done. With Paul Orndorff always in the hunt for a championship. We've already seen him get that title shot, Intercontinental title shot against Tito Santana. He came up short there. Trading blows going to come to the ring already. And did not expect this to happen this early in the matchup, but here you go with that. They're still trading blows going to come to the ring. I am looking for something in particular. Okay, that's not going to be there. Okay, now. Oh, there. Okay, there's that. Okay, we're going to be looking for something in particular here. Rhea working on the arm there of Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Cool. The new, now that's what I call wrestling for making a PK account. I have to watch that later too. Cool. Okay, so we're going to be, after this, we're going to be going to Mean Gene Okerlund. He's going to have some information for us of an incident that happened a couple months ago in St. Louis. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that momentarily. We'll also have the Piper's Pit with Captain Lou Albano as the Cyndi Lauper saga continues. So, only 4 matches this time around, but a lot of action still to come here on Championship Wrestling this week. I like a little chop there by Mr. Wonderful Paul North, going into the wrist lock off the top now. Paul Gurria used that with some great success earlier on. Oh, caught him with the uppercut there. Nicely done. They had a DM the other day asking me why I keep the energy bar and stuff like that on the ground, on the screen, rather than getting rid of those. 2 reasons, actually. One, as you know, if you've been following some of the earlier streams, we get on tangents, we start talking about other things, we start looking things up, depending on where the conversation's going. And so sometimes I'm not paying 100% attention of what we're watching. Probably a smart move by Orndorff there. He thought Gurria was in trouble, but Gurria was getting up, could have moved at any time. The other reason for that is if we have tag teams where guys look similar, like Asa and Kiko look extremely similar, if the Wild Samoans are in tag team action, okay, let us know which is which that way. So, 2 reasons why we end up doing that. Like a double leg takedown there by Tony Gurria. He's going to go for, I thought he was going to go for a sharpshooter there, but more of a curveball and more of a curb stomp by Tony Gurria. A 1984 standard, very innovative move. Orndorff kicking Gurria off, coming up with a carry of right hand there, and a double, and then that fireman carry takeover, knocking him down. Going for another suplex perhaps here. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff brings him down hard. Nicely done. And Tony Gurria is going to roll to the outside there. He's up on the apron. Orndorff looks like he's going to try to follow him up. Now Gurria catching Orndorff for the right hand instead. Doesn't give Orndorff the chance. And now Orndorff's going to roll out of the ring. And that may be what he wanted. He may have wanted to draw Tony Gurria out there. He's going to draw with him here. Again, if you follow the stream and you follow wrestling, you know 10 count on the floor. Oh, fifth drop. Gurria, a fifth drop by Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And look at him just bring those down. And now you've got Orndorff. Oh, nope. Santana catches him there. Fireman carry, nicely done, bringing him down. And a armbar takedown, nicely done. Yanking on the arm there, Tito Santana. They see that. At least it's up to this point. Tony Gurria, I don't know why I get Tito Santana. It looked like he was going to whip Orndorff into the rope. Orndorff caught himself. They are both back into the count of kick. And if we get down here, less than 4.5 minutes remaining in the 10-minute time limit, Gurria slamming Orndorff head first in the top turnbuckle. Orndorff coming back out of it. Oh, big chop in the corner. Nicely executed there. feel like the first man to hit a big move is going to be the winner of this matchup. It's been a grueling matchup here. There's a kick to the knee. If we started streaming the longest singles match we have had with 9 minutes and 2 seconds, that was Tito Santana. We got a cover here. 1, 2. We're not going to break that record here. 6:10 the time. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff is going to be your winner by pinfall.
Here is your winner, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Big win for Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff as he moves on. Do have to announce a couple of small roster moves here in a moment as well. We'll go over that in just a couple minutes. But right now, we need to go out. We need to go to the set of Piper's Pit. Mean Gene Okerlund and Capt of Piper's Pit. Mean Gene, what's going on?
Illustrating. If you're sensitive at all, I ask you to leave the room or turn the television set off, at least for the time being. I don't think there has been any question of a doubt, if I may refer to Roddy Piper, his presence very well known in the World Wrestling Federation. The one thing I will say about Mr. Piper, this gentleman right here from Glasgow, Scotland, is he has been a very, very controversial individual. And again, I repeat, if you're sensitive, this particular videotape from a recent Piper's Pit is very graphic. You might want to leave the room, and please, for small children, keep that in mind. It took place in front of an international audience. Let's go back in time and take a look at a recent Piper's Pit.
Very simple. All of a sudden, we got a bunch of people writing in. This guy here comes, I don't know, maybe comes sniveling to the people, comes and cries, Roddy Piper didn't give me a chance to say nothing on the pit. Roddy Piper didn't give me a chance to do nothing. You want a chance, everybody wants to be like Roddy Piper. You want a chance to say something. I'll tell you what, man. Here you go. Take the little microphone. There you go. There you go. Exactly what you want to say to these people. What do you want, huh? What do you want? You want banana? Like you want to do the picture, I'll get you to the next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has got to be one of the most despicable incidents I've ever seen. This man right here, Roddy Piper, has certainly shown his true colors. And sooner or later, Jimmy Snuka, the Superfly, will gain reciprocity. Tito Santana, I wanted to bring in an impartial observer. You, the Intercontinental Champion right now here in the World Wrestling Federation, you viewed the videotape as the fans have at home, and I am very curious. I want your very candid and very honest comments regarding what we have just seen.
Well, Gene, I guess action speaks louder than words. You know, Roddy Piper has been insulting the people that he's interviewing week after week after week. And now he did something that I have never witnessed before in professional wrestling. What he did to Jimmy Snuka, to me, was the worst insult that anybody could have done to another person. Roddy Piper, I think you finally stepped over your line, brother. I think it's about time that you're going to start paying your dues, and I guarantee you, you will pay your dues before it's all over.
All right, I thank you very much, Tito Santana. I appreciate your comments. Very honest indeed. Roddy Piper, remaining a very controversial figure in the World Wrestling Federation. Only time is going to tell what's going to happen. We're going to have to see.
All right, so that was the infamous Piper Pit with the coconut. Mean Gene Okerlund giving us our rundown there. And a brief interview with Tito Santana in regard to that as well. So we're getting ready to start the Piper Snuka feud. At the same time, the Piper's still embroiled with the Rock and Wrestling situation. Lots of stuff going on here over the course of the next few weeks and months, like we lead into. But let's go ahead and get into our next matchup here. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. And here comes Jackie the Body Ventura.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 260 pounds, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jackie the Body Ventura making his way to the ring for this matchup against Special Delivery Jones. This is not going to be the only two times these two men are going to take each other on. They will also meet at Madison Square Garden on June 16th, just 1 week of game time, 2 episodes away. Here on the stream, we'll do the June 16th edition of Championship Wrestling immediately later today, tentatively around 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm hoping around 5 or 5:30 to do the Madison Square Garden card, but that is, in fact, up in the air at the stand right this second.
And his opponent from the Pacific Islands, weighing in at 260 pounds.
FD Special Delivery Jones. Making his way to the ring. And we will see what happens here in future episodes. We are getting ready here. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. I'm trying to get the next bit of audio queued up as well here. So. Tag is made. Bell ring. Why can't you tell you? It's not a tag team match. I don't have any tag team matches on the condition of Championship Wrestling. Well, we got a one fall with a 10-minute time up here. Junkie the Body Ventura, you would think, would have the advantage in a matchup like this, but SD Jones, always capable, always incredibly talented. We will have to see how things are going to go here. Look at SD Jones with that hammerlock. Now pulling back on the wrist lock. We'll have Piper Pitt immediately following this contest. We still got the Iron Sheik and Tony Atlas and Bob Orton against Jimmy Snuka still to come later as well. So Jimmy Snuka, despite that incident that we saw earlier on kind of Piper's Pit, he is clear to compete. He will be wrestling here later tonight. And there's SD Jones getting Ventura up against the bottom rope, against the rope here, kind of him up to the outside. Oh, hard fill there for Jackie Ventura. SD Jones looks like he's going to dive. 2 feet right into the face. Luckily, Jackie the Body Ventura, not Jackie the Face Ventura. Went for that spinning forearm, they end up hitting head to head. But now SD Jones with that sweeper hold. Again, don't count SD Jones out here. I'm very curious as to what happens next week on our broadcast here. The show we set up for next week is going to be very interesting. Jackie Ventura, no matter how this match goes, he's going to take on Billy Travis next week. Billy Travis with an unreal winning streak. He's 4-0 so far for a guy that I brought in basically to lose the guys on television. He has done a great job so far. We will have to see how things go. Jackie Ventura struggled out of the gate here. He back at Madison Square Garden a couple of weeks ago, losing to the Tonga Kid in quick fashion. That match did not last very long at all either. You get a guy here like SD Jones who is very successful in his own right. He has not won a lot. SD Jones has not won a lot so far, but he's been in competitive matches. Very competitive match with Dr. David Schultz on the first episode on the stream. Check out the archive on YouTube. SD Jones got the win over Dr. D. David Schultz last week on Championship Wrestling. SD Jones has been on every episode so far here. Look at episode number 7. He's only won the one. Oh, there's that inverted body fight by Jackie Ventura. Ventura beat a lot of opponents with it back in the day. Not going to beat SD Jones with it this time. SD gets out of that. He comes back firing away. Now fireman carry into a slam. But SD Jones can record on every single edition of this stream so far. Our overall record of 1-5, but again, competitive matches. Fireman carry into the knee lift. This could do it. SD Jones maybe getting that second win. No, Jackie Ventura getting that right shoulder up just in the nick of time. And now, SD Jones gets back up, making that flying double stomp. Ventura with the right hand. And now catching with a furious kick. Knee right into the rib. Right into those short ribs. And now yanking back off. Yanking back on the arm. A furious stomp to that back. Give credit to SD Jones. He's been done very well for himself. But he misses that springboard. One mistake at this point in the match could be critical. Whipped him in, ducked him. Oh, nice kept block over there by Jackie Ventura. Ventura looked like he's setting him up for something. Look at that big bear hug. Yes. Got that bear hug locked in. Can SD Jones hang on? So far he is. We're 5 minutes into this match, halfway through this time limit. Ventura had to let go of the hold. FD Jones was not going to give it up there. And back and forth action between these two. And again, these two are going to do it all over again at Madison Square Garden on June 15th, 1 week from tonight in game time. No matter how this match happens. Jackie Ventura also against Billy Travick on television here next week. Going to see a lot of Jackie Ventura over the next couple of weeks. Oh, that Superman punch there by FD Jones. Maybe enough to put him away. Springboard moonsault of all things. 2, 3. 5 minutes and 53 seconds. FD Jones gets the win. He gets an upcut. Gotta call it an upcut.
Here is your winner.
A special delivery Jones gets the Duke. Impressive. Very nicely done. We've still got more action to come. If you are watching live, please by all means get involved in the chat. Ask some questions. Get involved. If you're watching on YouTube, we definitely appreciate it. We will run through the list of the socials later on. But right now, we already heard from Roddy Piper earlier. Let's go to Piper Pit.
I've got a little surprise for you, Roddy Piper. Excuse me. A word of achievement to Roddy Piper in recognition of a great man who leads units and class in the wrestling profession. By the dedicated fans of the Roddy Piper fan club, and also as a great bagpiper, the greatest in the country, by all your many fans. This is for you. That is beautiful. You know, coming from someone, just a second, coming from someone like you, I'd like to clear something up. There's been coming from a rock and roll manager like yourself, a wrestling manager. There's been a whole bunch of people out there that have been very doubtful. Last time here in the pit, we had some goofball come out here called Dave Wolf, who was discrediting you, who was discrediting everybody, saying that he was Cyndi Lauper's manager. So I said to myself, I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and I myself have a little surprise. I went, did a little research, made some calls, phoned Burt Reynolds. I said, Burt, he said, Roddy. I said, get a hold of Cyndi for me. Oh, Cyndi, you know what? Cyndi Lauper, on my request, because she is such a great friend of yours, and you're her manager, is going to be here next week. Promise, once and for all, brother. This is it. She will be Roddy Piper. Oh, you geeks out there, you hear that? You hear that? I know you kicked her away, but right here next week. Right here.
Official.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, on Championship Wrestling,
Let's not talk about next week on Championship Wrestling right now. Jane, let's go ahead and worry about this week. Well, next week we'll see Cyndi Lauper. This week we're going to see Iron Sheik and Tony Atlas 1-on-1, one fall of the 10-minute time limit. Pretend you didn't see that. And let's go ahead and get the action started. One fall, 10-minute time limit coming up here.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Tehran, Iran, weighing in at 258 pounds, the Iron Sheik.
All right, this is interesting. Iron Sheik not coming out with Freddie Blassie here. Coming out on its own. We will have to see how this plays out, but right now, getting the action, all Iron Sheik and Tony Atlas one-on-one at this point. We've got just this match and the main event, Bob Orton and Jimmy Snuka still to come. So my guess would be we'll have about 20 minutes or so remaining.
From Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 265 pounds,
Tony Atlas, Mr. USA. Making his way to the ring here. Tony Atlas recently losing the WWF Tag Team Championship 2 weeks ago on television to Adrian Adonis and Dick Murdoch. We'll see Adonis and Murdoch at Madison Square Garden next week. They're going to defend those belts against the Wild Samoans. And that match is going to be 2 out of 3 fall. So that's going to be fun. Both men are ready to go. The bell is gone. We are underway. The time limit is not up in the corner for some reason, probably because we're doing some extracurricular stuff later on. I don't understand that. Let me just have the match I want to have. I don't understand why the rival action overwrite the stipulations of the match, but what do I know? I just work here. There's a boot scrape there to the face of Tony Atlas. This could probably be a rope break, but referee is not going to get involved there. Referee kind of looked like Gilberto Roman. I don't think it's him, but okay, now we got both men out on the floor. Again, a 10 count on the floor. Both men, one or both men need to get in the ring before the count of 10. Oh, there's a body slam, and okay, the referee gonna start a count, but they've been fighting on the floor for a while already. And now ramming Tony Atlas into that steel ring post. Sheik back outside. Atlas is gonna counter with a forearm. Got him in the post there again. Nicely done. Atlas back in. Atlas, I thought we were going to come back out after him, but no, we're going to get both wrestlers back in the ring here. Duck underneath. Catch him, nice leapfrog over he go. Big power slam by Tony Atlas. Atlas slamming the Iron Sheik down head first. Catching him up there. I thought he was going to go for a backbreaker, but he turned him around. Spins him around. Big body slam. Nicely executed there. And now cranking on the neck. Beautifully executed there by Tony Atlas, Mr. USA. And now Atlas rolling out to the floor. He's going to look underneath the ring. That looks like he's got the kendo stick. I didn't think there was a kendo disqualification match, but we'll have to see. I currently did not set the cup a kendo disqualification match. I guess the referee's going to let it go, though. Right in full view of the referee. That match should be over. This match should be over, but the referee is going to allow that. Carry elbow to the midsection there by the Iron Sheik. Catching him, spinning him around, big forearm. Now whipping him in, catching him off. Big spine buster. Going for the cover here. We get one. We get two. Two is all we're going to get. There's Atlas. Oh, like a Dominator. This might be it. Two. Okay. 3 minutes and 28 seconds, and what I was expecting to happen
Here is your winner,
did not happen. what I was expecting was Carson Slaughter to come out and attack the Iron Sheik at some point during the match. He did not get that. Iron Sheik should have been disqualified for using that kendo stick. Referee used his discretion and let it go. Carson Slaughter and the Iron Sheik are now enemy. He didn't. It didn't happen. That did not happen. So the game is saying that Slaughter attacked Sheik. Slaughter did not attack Sheik. It came to a supposed to be a no disqualification match. It was not a no disqualification match. Let's go to the main event. Unreal.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Kansas City, Missouri, weighing in at 242 pounds, Bob Orton!
Cowboy Bob Orton making his way to the ring for our main event of this week's episode. One fall with a 10-minute time limit against Superfly Jimmy Snuka. And of course, this is the first episode of Championship Wrestling, the first taping after the passing of Vince McMahon Sr., the father of Vincent J. McMahon, that you're all familiar with. So definitely a new era here. There, Cowboy Bob Orton on the middle rope here. Big match against Jimmy Snuka. I meant to talk about the changes to the roster. I completely forgot. We'll have to... hopefully I remember to do that once the match starts, because I don't want to get too involved in that. Because we are trying to update the roster as much as we can and keep them as close as possible to what the real roster in June of 1984 work. We had to make a couple of minor changes. We'll get into those changes momentarily here, but let's get the introduction in first.
Weighing in at 258 pounds, the superstar, Jimmy Snuka!
Superfly Jimmy Snuka making his way to the ring for the main event match against Cowboy Bob Orton. So again, a couple of roster changes, nothing too drastic, nothing too major. We saw Akira Maeda at Madison Square Garden in a match against Rene Goulet. Akira Maeda, his excursion is done. He is going back to Japan. So he is done with that as well. We also called the Invader on our very first episode, the May 12th, 1984 edition of WWF Championship Wrestling, winning a handicap match over the Iron Sheik. They are gone as well. Invader number 1 was actually scheduled to take on the Magnificent Morocco Madison Square Garden next week, but he will not be in attendance for that event. Tony Gurria will take on the Magnificent Morocco at the Garden next week, so the Invaders are gone. In their place, we're going to see, we've seen his brother Paul the Butcher Vachon, Mad Dog Vachon, will now be with us. He'll be with us until February of 1986. And then a couple of guys will be until at least 1987. Albeit whether they are going to be teaming up for how long they team up together up in the air. The Moondog Spot, Moondog Rex, they are now in the World Wrestling Federation. We'll be seeing a lot of them in the week and months to come as well. So, those additions add a couple of teams to the tag team rank. Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas are... I've still got them listed like a team in the game. They don't team up much anymore, but we'll use them from time to time, I'm sure. Does that give the Vishal tag team to you? The Moondog tag team to you? We still got Fuji and Tiger Chung Lee. We still got the Samoans. We still got Adonik and Murdoch. B. Brian Blair and his flavor of the week. Whoever he winds up teaming up with, their power slam. And their kick out there by Cowboy Bob Orton. I talked about Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff earlier in that opening match. Fantastic match for Tony Gurria earlier on. So now we got Cowboy Bob Orton now locking in a sleeper hold. People firmly apply, but still going to break out that with a jawbreaker. Got to wonder how the attack we saw earlier on. Now that attack that we saw earlier on from Roddy Piper on the kind of Piper's Pit, that was taped some time ago. That did not take place today, because Snuka had some time to recover, but you have to wonder if Snuka comes off running her up, give a series of European uppercut forearm. And a nice drop kick there by Jimmy Snuka. Here in our main event of Championship Wrestling. And I'm actually kind of curious, guys, if you're watching this live or if you're on YouTube, if you've watched Forbidden Door yesterday. I did not get a chance to see it live. I'm planning on watching it over the next couple of days. Okay, that didn't take long. 2:46 at the time. Apparently everybody wanted to go home today.
Here is your winner.
I'm curious your thoughts on Forbidden Door as well. So go ahead and leave those comments in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. And Superfly Jimmy Snuka gets a win, and a relatively easy win over Cowboy Bob Orton tonight. Got more action with Championship Wrestling coming up next week here as well. The announced feature match for next week, Dr. D, David Schultz, and B. Brian Blair, we're also going to see Jesse Ventura against Billy Travis. And a non-title match next week. Tito Santana, Cowboy Bob Orton, non-title next week. Here on Championship Wrestling. And we'll see Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff in action as well. Before we wrap up this episode of WWF Championship Wrestling, let's go over the results real quick here. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff with the victory over Tony Gurria in our opener in 6 minutes and 10 seconds. S.D. Jones with an upset over Jackie the Body Ventura, 5 minutes and 53 seconds. Tony Atlas gets the win over the Iron Sheik in 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And Superfly Jimmy Snuka with the win over Cowboy Bob Orton in just 2:46, one of the shortest matches we've had on the stream at this point. Again, if you're watching live on Twitch, it's greatly appreciated. If you're not, follow me on Twitch at RefJayhawk. Get the notification at the when the streams go live. We'd love to have you live and involved in the chat. Those of you watching on Twitch live, maybe you missed an episode. Maybe you don't get to see the episodes live. I do post them up on YouTube shortly after we are done recording. That is got the username for that is Flair Woo. That's WHOO, Flair Woo, on YouTube. And thanks to everybody who has followed and subscribed recently. We've gained a couple of followers and subscribers since we started the stream. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you for that. I plan on being back around between 2:30 and 3 o'clock Eastern to do another episode of Championship Wrestling. And either today or possibly tomorrow, that next big Madison Square Garden card. So keep an eye out on those notifications. You can also follow me on the social media platforms. Not only here on Twitch, but also TikTok and Twitter at RefJayhawk. The Instagram is very rarely updated, but that is Jayhawk1539 when I do update that. And, of course, here on YouTube as well. And don't forget, we are on our summer vacation. We are going to have some older episodes up over the next few weeks. But my podcast, the Indie Wrestling Guide, available wherever you download your favorite podcast. Episodes drop every Thursday. July is going to feature the best of the former IWTV Guide, Indie Wrestling Guide. You'll see some of those episodes. And a lot more That's all for me right now, everybody. Stay safe, support independent wrestling, and we'll be back a little bit later on with more Championship Wrestling.